This is me, a Bronze Valorant player.
If you want to pick up.
What the fuck do you mean So how did I end up in a lobby just like this? Well, this is my high school esports team. And in this video, we'll be playing one of our off-season scrims. And today, our scrim is on Lotus. Without further ado, enjoy the video. The comp we are running today is Jett, Sova, Chamber, Breach, and Omen. Now this comp was made for my Premier team. This matters because instead of playing Breach like I would on my Premier team, I put on Duelist with Jett. Now our comp centers around taking space quickly, which means I need to get kills off of my teammates' util. Now you might be certain to see why this is a problem. In round 1, we make the call to rush A. Unfortunately, we immediately ran into a trap. Fade threw her C's, Omen smoked, and Jett dashed rubble. We were immediately destroyed in this round. We are now on an eco, which means we only have 1 ghost and 4 classics, so I decided to make the call to run B. We decided to make this play so that we could hopefully push our opponents onto a retake and damage their economy as much as possible. As I dash on site, I notice Sky is CT, and after getting a couple nice shots on Omen, I end up falling back as I get pressured from too much util. Trades come out, and now it's a 3 versus 1. And after a classic bronze overheat, it's now left in a 2 versus 1, which my Sova cleans up very handy. After winning that eco, we had a newfound confidence to try and fight A again. And we'll notice that the same play was played, except for there's no Omen smoke. This gives us valuable information, telling us that Omen is probably not on site. After giving up more main space, we decide to fight door. And after waiting for my teammates to reach site, I finally take the time to take space. Knowing that Fade's backside, I take this aggressive angle and get a 1-tap on Fade. And off the back of our strong entry frags, we were able to clean up this round easily with a nice flawless. In round 4, we decide to push A again. Now, this was not the smartest decision as they were 4 stacked on A. And this was a bloodbath, so I'm just gonna let the clip roll. Watch these, yeah. Yep. Jett rubble, Jett rubble. I can low-key back up. I made the right call there at the end to back up. However, I decided to peek while stunned, which ultimately lost us this round. In round 5, I make a great call for everybody on my team to sit lobby because their Jett and Fade are very, very aggressive on this A main fight. And after holding our angles for a while, eventually Fade and Jett decide to clear A lobby space and we're able to get a pick onto Jett. Now, unfortunately, Fade was able to back up, but this created a 4v5 and we were pretty much able to take all of A main space completely free. And even though I forgot to clear close left and completely biffed my entry, I was still able to get this 1 sloppy kill before going down, which ultimately, the 1 kill from our Omen was able to win us this round, even if it got a little bit close at the end. And after that 3k from our Omen, we were able to take back the lead. On round 6, we decided to rush C with my knives. And after finally getting on site, I somehow managed to whiff all of my knives, leaving me with only a classic. This is fine though, because my Chamber and Omen were able to clean up 4 out of the 5 players on the other team, and I was able to clean up Omen with just my classic. Now, in round 7, we decided to split B through A. Now, this was a weird round because they didn't contest the A main space at all, but they did use both of their smokes, giving us a pretty much free site. And after my third biffed entry of the game, we're able to take site and hold it pretty firmly. Now, I'm pretty proud of this round because after Fade ults from A Link, I'm able to play this interesting off angle where I sit in stairs so I'm not visible from heaven, whilst I can still hold A Link. After Fade dies, I'm able to pick up one onto Killjoy, and then I call for a flash from my breach to fight this Omen. Now, while I didn't have to fight this Omen here, I was able to secure another kill for my team and win the round. In round 8, I decided to peek C main right off the rip. This will give us info on who is holding C and hopefully get a kill. Well, I missed it. I still was able to get valuable information that Jett has a Marshall and she's sitting on C, which means A main should be relatively uncontested. It was. After getting stuck in tree for a large portion of the round, picks finally start to come out. After the initial fight, we're left in a 4v2, favoring our team. And here, my Omen secures his second 3k of the game to win us the round. In round 12, I decide to buy an op to see if I can clear this C main angle. Now, whilst I whiff, I still have my knives, and it does condition them to be afraid of that C main angle. And after taking site pretty much for free, they attempt to retake site with Fatal, and then I was able to run this really goofy angle with my knives. Unfortunately, I was only able to hit Sky for 100 damage here, but I was able to slow their push even slightly before getting killed by flank. Unfortunately, this ended up boiling down to a 4 versus 1 that my chamber could not win. However, he does get this insane 4k, including one lucky shot through the wall that killed their own. In round 13, it's our first round of defense, which allows me to do one of my favorite strategies on weapons. I'll condition to open the door every round to make the players pushing A have to fear a fight Rubble and a fight main. Now, this is even better because the doors show up on the minimap. So, even if they don't hit my site, they'll still see that I'm conditioning that every round. I'm able to get one pick here on the B retake before dashing into the wall like a complete idiot before we lose the rounds, putting us on our second eco of the game. In round 14, I decide to open door again. Now the Fade Seas comes out, showing that they are indeed scared of this. Now in this round, they make a crucial mistake of not pushing very fast. However, my team decides to give them plenty of 1v1s, as you can see here, which ends up very quickly into a 5 versus 1 against my Sova. While my Sova is able to catch this timing on the Jett, he's not able to clutch out this round. It is now tied 7-7, and it's our first full buy round. This round, I'm continuing to condition the door push. However, this round I'm actually going to fight Rubble. And while there didn't end up actually being anyone here, I was able to take A main space very quickly, allowing me to get a fast flank onto C. After being spotted by their KJ's alarm bot, we decide to push fast, and whilst I die to their Jett's outlaw, we're still able to clean up the round with 3 gun. Unfortunately, my Sova accidentally picked up an outlaw instead, and whilst I'm not able to get the kill onto Jett, we know that it's going to be a fast rush towards A. Unfortunately, I have to back out, and Jett was able to punish my breach, who was continuing to condition the door. Now we're left in a 4 versus 5 retake on the A side. After moving into drop, I'm able to pick up a Vandal off of their chamber, their Jett's body, and I'm able to pick up one onto their Omen. After getting blinded, I have to back up, but I'm able to regroup and push We know that they're both tree, and I'm able to clean up the last kill very slow to win us the round. In round 17, I made a massive mistake. I decided to open up the door again, even though it got absolutely destroyed last round. And Jet, sure enough, swings me and deletes me. This ended up putting us in a 4v5 on A site. However, my Breach, Chamber, and Omen did a very good job of holding down site and were able to put down the A hit, eventually winning us the round. This round allowed us to increase our lead to 3. And in round 18, I finally have enough money to buy it. I also comped to my teammates not to open door in tree because of what's been going on in the last few rounds. While nobody swings me initially, I start to rotate. Then I notice that there's nobody on either of the other sites, and I end up going back to C to anchor. When I arrive back to C, I find Fade Util and Sky flashes coming out. I'm able to hit a nice shot onto their Fade, and I then ult. However, I find there's one hiding to my right, and I end up dashing into a wall. This ended up in a 3v3 situation. However, my team was able to pick up one on flank, and then kill the last 2 bend. The nice little crouch spray for myself. Round 19 begins with a fast A push from the opposing team. Me and my Omen end up backing off and playing for retake. But unfortunately, their KJ ends up setting up their ult. What their team failed to realize, though, is that the KJ ult allows me to sit and drop with no punishment. And after my Breach completely runs into the KJ ult and gets stunned, I'm able to pick up a free kill onto Fade, who thinks she's getting a free gun. Even with that kill, it's still a 3 versus 2 with me and my Sova, who were actually both bronze. So this is looking like a very tall task. I decide to rewrap into stairs after smoking off the site, but unfortunately, Sky is waiting right there for me and ends up getting the 1-tap onto me. Immediately after, my Sova decides to wrap stairs as well and meets the same fate as I did. In round 20, I'm playing Fast Rotate with a Classic. We hear contact on C, so I rotate over to C as fast as possible, whilst dodging the Fatal. I then come to my team. They have exited the choke, and my Sova and Breach both ult the site. We're able to clean up all 5 very quickly, giving us a flawless round to put us on match point. In round 20, I decided to buy an op as well as a Vandal, so that I can hold down A long and be able to retake a little bit easier. Unfortunately, nobody ends up coming to my site, and I have to regroup over to B with a Vandal. When I arrive at the B site, it's a 4 versus 5 retake, and several of my teammates go down upon the entry. Unfortunately, I'm not able to get any when I initially come out, and I'm double swung, and I'm only able to hit Omen for 120, and Jet for 44. And it ends up in another 1 versus 4 for my Sova. He's able to get 2 quick here in our spawn before going to fight back on the B site. After arriving back to B site, he begins to try and re-clear these angles. We notice that the bomb is planted for every single angle except for Heaven, which is the one angle. He's able to get 1 more onto their Sky, but he's left at 5 HP after getting hit by the turret, and ends up getting killed from A length. In round 21, I decided to hit a fast flank after hearing contact on A, but unfortunately, they began to rotate and run directly into me, and I'm not able to convert a kill with my frenzy. This leaves us in a 3v3 retake on the C site. Whilst I'm dead, I noticed that KJ has used both of her mollies on site, so they have no post-plant utility. So I conned to my teammates that they should try and get on bomb as fast as possible. Unfortunately, my teammates begin to move a little too slow. We do spot Fade here in Bend, and Fade ends up going down to my Sova. Sova tries to get on bomb, but KJ ends up swinging him, revealing her location, Bend. My chamber then proceeds to hit this very unorthodox kill. But unfortunately, it's too late. We're not able to defuse bomb, and the game will go on. On round 21, I decide to play on A site with a Phantom. We hear contact, so me and my breach decide we want to fight this. I push all the way up, pop my dash, smoke off route, and dash over to Rebel. We find that they have backed up. My breach flashes for us, and we clear a lobby. No one's here. Then we find there's 3 holding us in their spawn, and I overheat and get picked off, while only doing 78 damage to them. Now it's left in a 3v4 situation. My chamber is able to get this timing onto their KJ and pop his ult. The enemy Skye pops her ult, and now it's a 2 versus 3 as my Omen goes down on site. A Fade ult gets ripped, and my Sova darts onto site. This reveals that Fade and Skye are both on site. My Sova then drones out site and figures out where bomb is planted. He also spots Fade sitting backside. My chamber is able to get a third in tree, and my Sova holds. And we know that Omen is sitting in drop, waiting for my chamber to hit him with the op. We win 13-10. And that is the story of how a bronze player managed to IGL and play Duelist in a competitive esports scrimmage. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all of you, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.